Welcome, everyone, to the Aggie Athletics Coaches Show, brought to you by Charles White State Farm. My name is Shawn Joy, and today we are joined with head softball coach Jim Walker. Jim, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. Glad to be here.
We know you're busy with the fall, so we appreciate with your time. Let's talk about the fall. What's the fall schedule look like, and what do the practices look like? That you guys are doing this fall.
Our fall's pretty busy. Every day we start out at 6 a.m. in the weight room, so the girls get in a really good lift, which is showing big dividends already. So we're getting a lot stronger. And then most days we go 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon with just a regular practice. So we spend a lot of time together right now in the fall, but it's paying off. We're seeing really big strides with some of our underclassmen.
So obviously you guys don't play till the spring. How important are the outside competition dates for you guys? You guys play other JUCO, or you guys play junior colleges in the fall. How important is that for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's important, to see some of the kids that haven't played before at the college level. But honestly, we don't really take wins and losses in the fall very serious. It's more, trying to develop, make sure we get better every time we go out, and just get kids in different positions in case you have to move them around during the regular season. They're not totally new to what you're looking for out of them. So again, it's important, but it's not something that we're like, oh my gosh, we lost. We're just worried about development in the fall.
So you've had a couple fall games already, and you got a couple more coming up. So far this fall, what do you think a possible strength of the team will be?
Well, I mean, as a team in my past and here, we really like to be fast. So this year is probably no different. We have a lot of pretty fast kids. They're pretty good at running the bases. So that'll always be a strength of our team and our program. So it's just, fine tuning that a little bit, but that's definitely something that we're going to hang our hat on a little bit this year.
On the flip side, had a couple months of practices and a couple games. What are some things that you guys got to keep improving on?
Yeah, well, defense. I mean, obviously, you want to really be good at defense, especially the way we play. So we want to get better every day at defense. And we're going to be pretty young this year in some positions. Our left side of the infield, we're probably going to start 2 freshmen. So just getting them kind of up to college speed of the game will be really important the rest of the fall. So we just want to, keep working on defense, have our pitchers throw strikes.
What's the roster look like? What's the breakdown? Is it a mix of transfers and returners, newbies, freshmen? Kind of what's the roster kind of look like?
Yeah, I mean, we have a really good combination. We returned 9 players from last year's team. We've brought in 16 players, and of those 16, it's a pretty good split. We have 6 transfers that came in and then 10 freshmen. So we have a lot of different positions, different classes taken care of, which we needed, but we have 1 senior. So the transfers that came in really helped with some leadership and just adding a little bit of maturity to our team, which we were lacking a little bit.
Noticed you had a few Guyman kids on the roster. What have they brought to the table?
Yeah, we do. This year we have 4 Guyman girls, and we actually have Gracie Langford, who is from Goodwill. So we have a nice representation of local talent. But the Guyman girls, I mean, Haley Vasquez was here with us last year. She brings a really big bat to the middle of our lineup. So that's always a plus. And then we brought in 2 freshmen. Jasmine Torres will get some time in the circle for us. Aleo will probably be one of our starting outfielders. She's transferring into us, so she's one of those kids that has brought some leadership for us, and she brings a lot of additional speed to our team. So again, we really like that. And Araceli is going to give us depth in the middle infield. So all 4 of them have really, stepped up and been contributing factors this fall. So we're looking for them to just keep building on that.
Kind of look ahead of the spring a little bit. You got your schedule and you have your non-con, then you have the Sooner. What are your expectations, or what are the goals for the girls this year when it comes to the spring?
Well, I mean, I tell them every year we're going to have the same goal. We want to win a national championship. We didn't come here to, just play. We came here to compete and win. And obviously, if you can compete in the Sooner Athletic Conference, that's going to give you a chance to compete on a national level. So, we want to compete with the best teams in the country, and that gives us a chance in the Sooner Athletic Conference. Non-conference, we probably upped our strength of schedule a little bit this year. just so that we know what we're getting ourselves into when we do get into conference play.
You talked about competing in the SAC and competing at the national level. From year one to this year, what are the things that we're going to have to do at a better level to make that competition jump at a higher level?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we've done is we've added some depth. Um, Last year we had a pretty small roster, and anytime we had somebody that was banged up a little bit or couldn't play, you're moving three or four people, trying to fill one spot. This year, with the roster size, we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of competition at every position, so everybody's getting better, and we have way more pitching depth. And unfortunately, in softball, you go how your pitchers go. If you don't have one, you're going to struggle. If you have some, you have a chance. So we should be a lot better in that aspect with the depth that we have. Returning MJ definitely helps, but getting her some help also was really important.
No, she obviously had a great season last year, and hopefully we got some other ones that can back her up and add to the depth. When the fall season's over for you guys, what does it look like? What does it transition to after the fall season up until the opening part of the season?
Yeah, so once fall's over, obviously the girls will continue to work on their own in the cages and stuff like that. We'll continue with our weight program, because I believe that's really the most important thing once fall ball's over, is to maintain strength. It really helps with injury prevention, things like that. So a lot of the stuff will be on their own softball wise, but we'll continue in the weight room until we get back from Christmas break, and then it's full speed ahead after that.
Tell us about the non-con schedule. Where are we going, or who's coming here to play us in the non-con?
Yeah, so we open up in San Antonio this year. We're going to play Texas A&M, San Antonio, and then we're going to get right into playing ranked teams where we go to and play Our Lady of the Lakes. So they are a pretty good perennial power. So that'll be a good test for us. And then we're back at home. We open up with Kansas Wesleyan at home for a 4-game series, which is nice anytime you can play some non-conference games at home, which we got away with last year, getting a few games in. So that'll help us. And then we're going to the NAIA Softball Invitational over in Chickasha, and that has some of the top 25 teams in the country scheduled to play there. And from the looks of what we've seen, we're going to play most of them. So
good, we'll beat them.
Yeah, so it gives you a chance. If you can get a couple non-conference wins against some ranked teams and then compete in the conference, you're setting yourself up to at least get looked at for an at-large bid. So you're giving yourself a chance, and that's really all our girls want. Give them a chance to compete against the best teams in the country, and if we win, we win. If not, what you got to build on and get better for the next time you go out.
Well, last year in the conference tournament, you guys went toe-to-toe with USAO, and it was right there. And so you talked a little bit about pitching, but what are the things that can maybe get us over the hump when we play them again this year? And what's it going to take for us to take that next step?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to go back to pitching still always. So the pitching is going to have to still be there. But obviously, you have to score runs. We lost 1-0, so we've got to get better at scoring runs. I mean, having Trinity at the top of the lineup definitely helps. I mean, if she gets on base, there's a good chance that it's a triple at some point.
Yeah.
So, you're just going to have everybody else, do their jobs a little bit better, move a runner, hit the ball to the opposite field. We don't sacrifice bunt a lot, but there's times when that's going to have to be part of our offense. So just getting a little bit better offensively, doing the smaller things a little bit better to move some runners. And, you get us a couple runs, and we like to think that 3 or 4 runs, our pitching staff should give us a chance to win.
Yeah, for sure. We got some with Jacobs. We got a really good number one there. Let's kind of go off the field for a second. Your girls do a lot of community service. They're very active. They're at the homecoming parade. They're helping out the community. What part of the program, and how much does that mean to you when the girls do stuff like that?
Oh yeah, it's super important. When you look at your roster and you're like, you know what, I got all really good kids. It just makes your life so much easier as a coach. I know that I'm not going to come in on Monday morning and say, okay, what happened this weekend that I'm going to have to deal with? So we just have really good kids, and that's important. The other day we went and we worked at Loaves and Fishes, and helped out in the community. And every person there, they all came up to me while we were working. They're like, your kids are so nice and they're so respectful. I mean, obviously that goes back to they had good families. So those are, what we look for when we recruit. We want you to be a good softball player, but we want you to be a good person also, because again, they represent the university, they represent the team, and they represent me, and that's what we want.
Well, you had a good first year last year, and we're excited for this year. We think with the girls you have coming back and the new kids you got coming, you got a chance to have a really good spring. And like I said earlier, your girls do a great job on the field and off, and we're excited for the spring. And Coach, we appreciate you coming by and taking some time with us.
Oh, it was my pleasure. We're excited. We're ready to go.
Well, that does it for the latest episode of the Coaches Show, brought to you by Charles White State Farm. We will see you next time.